Hello everyone, this is a Kenken puzzle number 1 from Conceptis puzzle. There are two operations, operation of summation and operation of subtraction. There are some cells without these operations. Numbers in these cells is just the numbers which will be in final solution. Here has to be number 5, and here also cell without operation is number 5. Now what happens here in these three cells? There is just one combination of numbers which will produce a number 4, and this is the combination number 1, number 1 and number 2. What else? Here this is a number 20, and also like in these three cells to make number 4, there is just one combination to make number 20, and this combination is number 7, number 7 and number 6. What happens with these three cells to make number 8? There are two combinations to make number 8 with three different numbers. This is a number 1, number 2 and number 5. And second combination is number 1, number 3 and number 4. There is a number 1 in both combination, which leads that this cell must be number 1. Here cannot be number 1 because of the number 1 in row number 4, and here cannot be number 1 because there is a number 1 already in row number 5. What about the combination of numbers 1, 2 and 5? It cannot be, because in this cell cannot be number 1, number 2 and number 5, which leads to the conclusion that this is the combination of number 8. Don't know yet is that the number 3 and number 4, but we know in these two cells there are numbers 3 and number 4. Row number 5, there are three numbers still missing, and these numbers are 3, 4 and 6, and here is also 3, 4 and 6. Now there is absolutely sure that here must be number 6. The question is the remaining number in this cell, here or here, has to be number 3 or 4. Now if there is a combination number 6 and number 4, here has to be number 3 to make number 13. Another solution is where there is a number 6 and number 3, and 6 plus 3 is 9, and here has to be number 4 to make number 13, which leads to the situation that in two cells there are two numbers, and there is no possibility to make some other numbers in these two cells. And this leads to the conclusion that here in this cell and this cell has to be number 2 or number 5. But here is a number 5, and here has to be number 2. And here the last empty cell in row number 4 is 5. Now, to make 11, here has to be number 6. Here, to make 2, by subtraction of 2 numbers, and here is the number 2, here has to be number 4. Now, let's have a look these two cells which contains number 6. There is just one combination to make number 6 from two numbers. It is a number 7 minus number 1 is number 6. Okay, but here is already number 1, and here has to be just number 7. And here, of course, number 1. The same thing is here, because there is a 6 like in these two cells. Here has to be number 7 and number 1. Here is a number 1, and here has to be number 7. And here is the number 1. Now, what happens with column number 3? Here cannot be number 7, and there is a possibility to have numbers 2, 5 and 6, 3 remaining numbers, and here are the combination from number 2 and number 6 to produce number 4, and here is the solution, 2 and number 6, and here is 2 and number 6, and the remaining number here in the column number 3 is the number 5. Now there are two places to make a number 10, to make a number 15, because this is a number 5, and to make number 10 there are two solutions. Number 10 can be made from number 6 and number 4, 4 plus 6, or 3 plus 7. Because there is a number 7 here already and number 7 here, there is just one combination to make number 10, and this is the combination from numbers 4 and number 6, which leads to the situation that there has to be remaining 3 numbers that are 7, 3 and 5. Here is a number 5, and here has to be number 3 and 7. Here has to be number 3, 5 and 7, and here same combination, 3, 5 and 7. Now there are two cells in row number 3 and 3 numbers. Those 3 numbers are 2, 3 and 7, but there is a number 1, and here have to be numbers 2 and 3, because 3 minus 2 is number 1, which leads to the situation where here cannot be number 3, and there is a remaining number 7. And here, of course, cannot be number 7. Here are just 2 remaining numbers, 3 and 5. Now here is a number 7. What now? Now here in row number 6 there are a couple of numbers, and let's have a look what could be in these two rows, in these two cells. To make number 4, there is a couple of combinations. Here can be 7 minus 3. It can be 6 minus 2 and 5 minus 1. Here is number 7, here is number 5, and just remaining combination is 6 minus 2. Number 6 is here, and this leads to the conclusion this here is a number 2 and here is a number 6. This number 6 makes some think that here cannot be number 6 and here would be number 4 and here cannot be number 4 and here has to be number 6 and here cannot be number 6. Here would be number 4 and here would be number 6 and here cannot be number 3 and number 4. We'll make a good position for the number 6 in this cell and this cell. Now there is remaining number in the row number 6 and this is number 3, and here can be number 4 or number 2 because 3 minus 2 is 1 and 4 minus 3 is also 1. 2 and 4. Now what about these two cells? What are the combinations? To make number 3 from this combination is 7 minus 4 or 6 minus 3 or 5 minus 2 or 4 minus 1. There is 4 combinations, but in this column there is already number 6, 5 and number 1. There is just one combination to make number 3 from subtraction, and that's the combination of number 4 and number 7, and here number 4 and number 7, which leads to the conclusion that there is no possibility to make number 4 here. It has to be number 2. Now there is 3 numbers in the row number 7. The 3 remaining numbers, those are 3, 4 and 5. Here is the number 5 in column number 7, and here it has to be numbers 3 and number 4. Here 3, 4 and 5, and here of course the same 3 numbers 3, 4 and 5. Now what happens with column number 4? There are 5 different numbers, and here must be the remaining 2 numbers. The remaining 2 numbers are 3 and number 6. 3 and 6. And here are the 3 and 6. 3 plus 6 is 9, plus 7 is number 16. Number 7 is here, and here cannot be number 7. Here cannot be number 7, it's a number 4, and here number 4 is going down. Okay, let's make the good position for the number 4. This is a number 4. Now here in column number 7 there are 4 different numbers, and here can be in these two cells those 3 numbers. It is 1, 3 and 4. Here is number 4, and here can be number 1 and number 3. And here, of course, there's a situation for here numbers 1, 3 and 4. Now, what happens here? There is a situation that here in this cell can be number 2 or number 4, because 2 minus 1 is 1, or 3 minus 2 is 1, or 4 minus 3 is 1, which leads to the conclusion that here can be just number 2, the only possible solution, which leads to the situation that there is no possibility to have number 2 here, and of course number 3 here. Let's make a good position of number 2 and number 3. These are the number 2 and number 3. And here in the cell cannot be number 3, it has to be number 4. And here is a 3, here is a 4, and here has to be number 5. This is a number 5. And of course, here in the cell cannot be number 5, it is a number 3 or number 4. Now, in the column number 6, there is just one cell to make the number 1 and to be finished with the column number 6. Here is a number 2, and of course it cannot be a number 2 in the cell here, and here has to be number 6, and here has to be number 2. Oops. Here is a number 2. And here is a number 6. Sorry. Here is a number 6 and here is a number 2. Which leads to the conclusion that here in this cell cannot be number 6, and here has to be number 3, and here has to be number 6. If the number 3 is here, here cannot be number 3, and here cannot be number 5. If this cell is number 3, here cannot be number 3, it must be number 1. If this is a number 1 and here number 1, here it cannot be number 1 and number 3 because of this 3. And the remaining cell in the column number 5 is number 5. And of course 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 5 is number 10. If in this cell is number 4, here down cannot be number 4, it has to be number 3. And this is a number 3. And here cannot be number 3, and this cell must be number 4. Here must be number 3, and finally this cell cannot be 3 and this cell cannot be 4. And this is the final solution. Thank you very much.